Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Alden, and I'm very pleased to be here to be a part of this Wellness Lifestyle Conference. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Bach Flower Remedies, Dr. Bach's system of 38 flower remedies that help unplug and uplift us from stress, tension, and our fears. Dr. Bach himself was a homeopathic physician, an immunologist, a bacteriologist, a medical doctor, and a surgeon. I'd like to show you a photograph of him. This was taken in the 1930s, and this is the cover of his book called Heal Thyself, which is part of his philosophy of medicine, which has actually been in print since the early 30s. Earlier in his medical career, he opened a private office in Harley Street. He also treated the poor for free, and he actually was a director of a laboratory. And some of the remedies that he created in those days for intestinal toxemia are actually still used today by other homeopathic physicians. And little known fact is, in the flu epidemic of 1918, he was asked and created a homeopathic vaccine, and he saved thousands of people's lives with it, actually. So he was very versed in humanity. He was a deep student of humanity. He was a deeply spiritual person, and also understood that our minds built our health picture. Our emotions created who we were. And he looked at his patients as people. He looked at them as healthy. He saw them actually as healthy. And he always, with every medical discovery that he made, everything that he studied, was always looking for a way to release them from their suffering, to help them be better, to help them love their lives more, to be more skillful in their relationships. So everything that he studied came together at some point in the 1930s when he decided to close his Harley Street practice, close his laboratory, and go back directly in nature, because he felt that when he focused on our mental and emotional states of mind and found natural properties that could relieve that suffering, he was closer to really bringing people to their true health. And it actually took him 8 years of wandering around the countryside to find, test, create, and use the system that we know today as the 38 Bach Flower Remedies. Well, how do these remedies work? What do they do? And what can they actually do for us today? I want to read you a quote of Dr. Bach himself explaining how these remedies uplift our vibrations and through their positive energy help change our negative forces. Dr. Bach wrote that they are able to raise our very natures and bring us nearer to our souls. They cure not by attacking the disease, but by flooding our bodies with beautiful vibrations of our higher nature, in the presence of which disease melts as snow in the sunshine. And you may ask, well, how can vital force and living energy actually work? Well, what it is our anger, hate, fear come into our systems. We experience it, we create it. Those actually are, all of our emotions are known even today as vital forces and different frequencies. The actual flower remedies overlay that negative vibration and turn it back into the positive. And Dr. Bach himself also said, this is from the 12 Healers, this other book that he wrote, telling us how to use the remedies and describing each one. As all these remedies are pure and harmless, there is no fear of giving too much or too often. Though only the smallest quantities are necessary to act as a dose, nor can any remedy do harm should it prove not to be the one needed for the case. So even today, when you take it and you maybe are a little unsure which remedy to choose, If you choose a remedy that just doesn't actually match the situation that you're in, nothing happens. And the beauty of this is it makes it completely harmless. So you really can do no wrong in taking any of these 38 Bach Flower Remedies. The way that you use them is you look at yourself and you see what's stuck, what's uncomfortable, what's not working, what are the things that I'm actually wrestling with towards myself or towards my relationships in the world. And you can choose between 1 to 7 remedies to make your own personal formula. And when you find those remedies, you fill this up with water, take 2 drops of your chosen remedy, put it in the bottle, and take this 4 times a day. You can also take it more if you need it. So each of these remedies, and I have 3 here, these are the ones that I spoke about earlier that I wanted to share with you, because I picked them because I think this is what people are going through right now. This is a remedy of mimulus. Dr. Bach put it in the category of fear, but it's fear of known things. When you are afraid of people, you're afraid of public speaking, you're afraid of going out into the world, you're afraid of traveling. You can even be afraid of animals, or afraid of going to the dentist or taking a test. And when you take the mimulus, the positive benefit of the mimulus overlays your fears and you move back to courage. So you can go outside, you can express yourself, you can move through your day and become skilled in all of your relationships. The other remedy that I want to share with you is walnut. Walnut is a remedy that helps with change. It protects you from outside influences. It keeps you on your path. So if you're dealing with lifestyle changes, you're trying to change a pattern, you're trying to stop smoking, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get better sleep, you're trying to deal with food issues, or even change of what's happening in the world right now. You know, people are getting laid off from their jobs, children are going back to school, teenagers are going back to college, people have unfortunately loved ones that have not made it through the virus process, you know, and they need help in bridging where they want to be to where they need to be. And walnut is a really lovely remedy to smooth the way for change. And the other one is white chestnut. White chestnut helps our minds calm down. They help the spinning thoughts stop. And it's actually a pretty good remedy to use if you cannot concentrate. It brings you kind of mental clarity, and it helps your mind be very steady. So it's in the rescue remedy culmination here because at night sometimes people can't sleep and their minds spin and they review the day and they get really, really restless. So the white chestnut helps calms down that restlessness. And that's a good remedy to use because if we can't concentrate, we could miss life's opportunities. And we maybe can't get projects done, or we have trouble waking up in the morning, or we have trouble facing our day. So these 3 remedies, which are part of the system of 38, you can see by them that you can really find ways to help yourself become your better self. And because these are very gentle, very safe, very easy to take, you can use them with children. You can use them with even newborns if they get fussy. You can use them with elderly people, and you could actually use them with animals. I'm also a Bach Flower Remedy animal practitioner. And I was very, very fortunate to study at the Natural Animal Center that's located in Wales. And what I learned from the course that I took is I learned about animal behavior and different ways of observing animals and how to frame the remedies in ways that might decode what animals are doing. And I wanted to give an example of how I actually use the remedies with my dog, Singatashi. When he first came to live with me, He didn't know the neighborhood. He didn't know the routine. He didn't know what was expected of him. This is the first time he'd lived with me, and I actually have his brother with me. So he had lived with his brother before, and they're very good friends, but he was really completely brand new to the situation, and I knew that would be some stress. So what I actually did, one of the first remedies he got in his water was walnut to help him with change. And over the course of the first week, I sometimes put larch for confidence. He had really never been in an elevator before. He was living in an apartment on the first floor, and so he just wasn't used to it. And I also gave him some white chestnut. I gave him some stimulus for known fear, because he would go outside and he would hear the noises and the cars and the people and all the active energy where we lived on the street. He really needed protection, and he needed confidence, and he needed help. And over time, with the flower remedies, Pooh's care, and my care, he really became a balanced dog, and they played, and he got into the routine. He ate his food. They had really good times together, and it showed me very clearly that as I watched him become more confident, walk outside with his head and tail up, he slept really well. He woke up really well, very bouncy, very clear. That these gentle remedies can really help all of us. So I wanted to also tell you a little bit more about how to take the remedies. You take them in a mixing bottle that you choose for yourself, 4 drops 4 times a day or more. And with animals, you can do it a few ways depending upon the situation. You can put the remedies in their water. If they're regular water drinkers, you can put it on a treat. And if for some reason they're undergoing stress that you can't put it on a treat, if it's available, you can put it on their paw pads, you can put it behind their ears, you can sometimes, if they let you, put it on their lips. But the thing to do when you mix up their own mixing bottle is please do not put the remedies directly in their mouths, because this is made of glass and it could break. They could have an involuntary response, so they could close on the bottle. So that would not be good. So that's the one way kind of not to do it. But otherwise, all 38 flower remedies correspond to each of our mental states of mind for both us and our animal friends. And they're really here to address us. And you can use them short term as you would rescue remedy for emergency and everyday stress. You can use them long term if you find that you have a pattern that has been with you a very long time. You can use them over the weeks, or you can use them short term. If you wake up in the morning and you can't face your day, you can take some hornbeam, and that will set you right to balance so you can face your day and get on to things. And Dr. Bach also mentioned that the remedies can be used proactively, so you don't get to have the chance for the situation that you're in to create a physical illness. So if you feel out of sorts, take a chosen remedy, take it for as long as you need it. He was known to say, I want to make the system simple. When I'm hungry, I'll go to the garden and get some lettuce for my tea. When I'm afraid and ill, I'll take a dose of mimulus. That's how he wanted us to use it. He wanted it to use it for everyday things, because he also saw, even in his day, that medicine was too expensive. You couldn't find a doctor. He wanted people to take their own health in their own hands. So I offer you these Bach Flower Remedies for putting help in your own hands. I hope that you enjoyed the talk. I hope that it gave you information that you didn't have before. And when you see these beautiful remedies, you might take a second look and give them a try. Thank you so much. Wishing you peace.